Alright, here with the BBCAN10 update. It's going to be audio only. And if I do a lot of coverage for BBCAN, it's probably going to be a lot of audio this season because I can't be asked to record videos on this cast when the vast majority gets on my goddamn nerves already. It's a weekend to the feeds, not even. This is going to be focused on Marty's HOH so far, who is doing his best to be a Frenchie HOH. This man has been a mess, and I need to break it down because not a whole lot is making sense. Although a whole lot of what most of this cast is doing or saying isn't making a whole lot of sense whatsoever. But Marty, let's just go back on his HOH. He won an HOH he didn't really even need. And he was making deals in an HOH competition when there's still a lot of people left. And there's something to be said for players who feel like they have to win all the time because they're just super competitive. In this case, Marty didn't need to do so. But I feel like in the future, he's going to need to do a whole lot of winning to even come close to winning this game. But to track his HOH, he made a deal with Stephanie. He made deals with Betty. He made a lot of deals with people this week. Stephanie seemed to be his big target, but she didn't want to put her on the block because there was a deal made. So he goes and puts up Jay and JC. Now he seemed to convince himself these last few days that Jay was coming after him, but Marty was nowhere near the top of Jay's target list. So I don't know if you want to chalk it up to paranoia or just plain stupidity coming from his bald ass head, but Marty has that all wrong. And this is Marty's position in this game. He thinks he's good with the bros, and he's probably fine with Kyle for sure. You would think that him and Gino are close because I think Marty feels like Gino's his number one. But Gino's close with everybody in this damn game at this point. So Marty could think he's great with the guys, but what he has done this week, like the dumbass that he is, he's on the bottom of any real alliance. I mean, Kyle and Gino have said they're each other's number one, so even if he goes to the end with Kyle and Gino, he's on the bottom of those three. So this man, who's on the bottom of everything, decides to go after one of the people that's on the very bottom of the house, that being Jay. But in doing so, he's gone back on his word already because he says he wants to be this guy that, he makes deals and he keeps them, but he made a deal with Betty, and Betty ends up being the renom. Now, I could get the line of thinking that Betty needs to be the renom in case Jay has the votes to stay. That is smart, but the way he's gone about it has been more dumb fuckery because he didn't even talk to Betty that he was going to nominate her. So it was an out-of-the-blue nomination for the vast majority of the house not named Jess, Kevin, or Herman. And so Marty looks sketchy, and he looks like a liar, and he looks like someone who doesn't keep his word. And he now just is going to start looking close to Kyle and Gino. I mean, maybe it's a good thing that he's on the bottom of that, but I honestly feel like there could come a point where Marty's just going to be the big target in that trio too. So to really sum up Marty's game, or his week as HOH, as an HOH, you can use this week to get a lot of info, or use this week to set yourself up in a better spot. But Marty comes out of this in a worse spot because he never needed to win it in the first place. He's going after one of the people in the house, Jay, who's at the bottom of the house and who likely would have worked with some of the players that Marty is going to try to work with, like Jess. He says he wants to keep his word and he wants to be known as a player in this game who, if he keeps his word and makes a deal, he's going to keep it. Goes back on that week two. Week two, he goes back on a deal. And the whole house is going to know about it. And all of this to get Jay out of the house, who was never coming for Marty in the first place. Oh, and I forgot the whole part how he spent an entire 24 hours talking about how he was actually targeting Stephanie this whole time, and if they wouldn't have made the deal, he'd be targeting Stephanie, so Stephanie's going to know that. Luckily for Marty, Stephanie's not playing the game. She's here to try and get a dude who doesn't even want her. So Marty's HOH has been a shit show, very Frenchie-like. And with the episodes being showman's heavy, with the feeds being cut all the time, with the weird camera decisions that they're making, with this cast being pretty deplorable in my eyes, it's going to be a long 2 months of this season. I can't wait for the season to end, and it's only week 2. The only thing that can make this week better for me and save some of the irritation is if Betty, who is of course upset after being nominated out of nowhere, nominated by Marty, who she legit trusted, I need Betty to go home this week. Because if Betty goes home, then this makes Marty's HOH even worse somehow. Because Marty, who has created all this dumb-ass chaos to get Jay out of the house, who is never coming for Marty. But then Betty goes home, who actually trusted Marty. It would be the cherry on top of the cake of these annoying ass people. Unfortunately, I highly doubt that happens, but Betty has been spiraling, pissing off Summer and others today, and people that she's good with, but unfortunately I just don't think it will happen, but it would be great.